Christianity is a terrorist organization. Christianity takes the irresponsibility of the government and places it on Satan. You are a Christian and there is time for you to marry. Somebody says go and pray. The person is crucifying your ability of using your understanding to verify the person you want to bring into your house. How can somebody die for me, my father? And we are talking about how to lay the man on the dead and somebody is checking whether his cooler of rice is complete and their mouth is complete. We cannot be chewing meat the day we are burying somebody. It already defeats the ideology that we are mourning. Once a woman sees another man more authoritative than his husband, the woman can never submit under the husband. So that place is where women go and then they are listening to the voice of another man as a leader. It's very wrong. The only leader a woman should have is her husband. I make mockery of the entire Christianity because the entire Christianity is evil. Evil. Evil dangerous. Christianity promotes wealth without process. In fact, any teaching on earth which teaches people to pray to be successful is demonic. You know, I've told people that once you see a young man who have made Jerick his mentor, Balonya was once now fuego. I broke till I get $1 billion dream. I me papa onya ha no zi, onya ha ka go far. You know how many business 5 million potai na pala na ibupu bishi. You can see a hospital in India which will tell you this hospital have existed for 30 something years without a pregnant woman dying in our hospital. You now come to Africa, you see a woman who is pregnant, the first thing they do is that they begin to give her prescription of the Bible scriptures. That God knows everything. What you must understand first is that people have zeal, but the people don't have the soundness of knowledge. Matthias Isaac is a pure, sincere human being, but his approach system is something that we need to sit down and modify so that he will come to retain and picture the true culture we are returning the people back into.
So you are agreeing we are not going astray?
Just wait, let me clarify you. We are not metamorphosing from one church to open another Omenana church.
Okay.
In Africa, we don't have religion. What we have in Africa is spirituality. And spirituality leaves you have its own defined work. Number one, when you come, I can give you 3 examples, 3 differences between spirituality and religion. Number one, spirituality doesn't have one location where it is practiced and it does not have headquarters. Then you ask somebody where is the headquarters of Christianity? He says at Rome. You ask somebody where is the headquarters of Islam? He says Saudi Arabia. So religion have a particular structure of the house, but culture is how is your people doing it. Go to your place, the place where you people are doing it. Go and do it the way people does it. And then number 2, I'm giving you the difference between religion and spirituality. Spirituality does not interfere with your personal way of life. If you are growing up in the days of your grandfather, if you come to a time where you are ripe for marriage, they will ask you, there's a way you have to go and ask about her and follow the protocols your people used to marry. But then you are a Christian and there is time for you to marry. Somebody says go and pray. Have you prayed? The person is crucifying your ability of using your understanding to verify, to know the person you want to bring into your house. He says it is you to go and ask God, that it is God will direct you. Now you finish asking God, you now bring a woman. The church is going to come to tell you how you will marry your wife. They will prescribe for you the doctrine, the system how you will marry your wife, the wedding and all of that. But in spirituality, there is no native doctor that comes the day you are doing traditional marriage. It is something that parents do. Maybe one day I will tell you the exact role the gods, the deities in Africa, they have specified role. They don't interfere with the way we do with their normal way of human's life. But religion want to interfere with your normal lifestyle. Somebody dies in the days of our ancestors. There is no traditionalist that is going to come to tell you this is how you are going to bury the person. No, you have your way that your people bury a dead. Today somebody die, they are going to tell you that like in my place, if somebody die, our culture is that if somebody died today, highest today or tomorrow, we put him under the ground. Then the people can now go and prepare for how they will come and celebrate a man who gave us life and shelters us. Because the ideology of celebrating on the day you are burying somebody already defeats the mindset of your mourning. How can somebody die for me, my father? And we are talking about how to lay the man on the dead and somebody is checking whether his cooler of rice is complete and their mouth is complete. We cannot be chewing meat the day we are burying somebody. It already defeats the ideology that we are mourning. So we have to put this person on the ground, everybody cry and we go. Then we now later come back to come and celebrate that there was a man who brought the light of Africa upon this earth. Come, let us celebrate him. That's why we do second burial. Christianity came and says no, somebody will die for you. They will now first tell you that you need to go out to mortuary. Anything. You carry somebody, put him in mortuary. Maybe mortuary is charging you 20,000 every month for 6 months. 20 times 6, 120,000 from your little business. The day you are going to bring the person to bury, there's going to be an ambulance. There's going to be all kind of palms. There's going to be all kind of noise. And then the pastor will come. You're not asking pastor, I want to bury somebody. What is your business there? The pastor says, no, I am not a spiritual person. I'm a religious person. In religion, we put eye in all the things you do. The pastor begin to come. He says, keep him like this. They will now begin to sing a song that will make everybody there cry. Because burial is the biggest place you will use to manipulate people into your slavery. Have you stayed in a place and they are singing Nagafedi Kapapa no gututu? You will feel to cry. They will now tell you, look at our brother like this. He was alive yesterday like you. Maybe the word of God was sounding to him like this, the way I'm sounding to you, but the man shut his gateway. But now you have one chance before you will be like, and as they are talking, you are looking at a dead man. Somebody is making mockery of your father in the public. And as he is doing that, he now says, if you want to give your life to Christ now, what I'm giving you is the count of 3. 1, 2. You now see all young boys are saying, one name about everybody take a pause about pota. You are now asking, in the days of our ancestors, when we want to do burial, there is no native doctor that comes. Go and bury the dead. Let's come back and celebrate the man who left. We cannot be celebrating a dead and be eating meat. And any day my father died, this is the way I'm going to bury him. I'm telling you practically. I'm not going to call Omen and Abuzi Zokunando to come and start telling me how I will bury my father. If the day I want to now do celebration, understand, you will now invite people to come and eat. Christians are mad. These people are mad. Somebody died and you are now telling the person you did not call me. How can somebody who is mourning be calling everybody on phone and telling you that I lost my father? Am I calling them to give them? That means I'm in clear sanity of mind. I am frustrated. I am depressed. I'm mourning. I carry the person and go and bury.
Jebe na Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited.
Then I will now come back when I'm now in due state to celebrate a man. Burial is celebration of a man who brought you to life. Christianity came and destroyed it. Now teach you that somebody, as the corpse of the person is coming in, somebody is telling the people, occasion before 3rd of March. And those who mad I'm doing burial. So you now see the definitely doing burial. One organization will come and says, they did not treat us well. You now have to cook extra food to take to them. People, how can you treat people well when somebody is going on the ground? You are yasad. Yasad is also yasad mean Ishiga Chikotaro on before I miss Igbo and English. So I'm just giving you difference between spirituality and religion. So the most important thing is that spirituality, number 1, doesn't have a location. Number 2, doesn't interfere with the ways people live their life. Atheist is just somebody who have come to a realization that God is fake. That God is just an invention of my father to control the masses. But why I tell people that atheist is a Christian is because any man on earth, any human being on earth who believe that ordained marriage is one man, one wife is a Christian. It doesn't matter whether you have never seen church in this world. What if you believe in your heart that ordained marriage, there is a difference between you married one wife because this is what will give you happiness, or this is how you choose to. But if you believe that how nature designed a man and a woman to live is one man, one wife, my brother, even be touched on the Jesus. Is like staunch member of Jesus Christ. Prayer, you eat the 2 tithes in Christian law. The only thing that I got church. So Christianity is an ideology. Understand? So now Matthias Isaac had passion. But Matthias Isaac now need this Bezimako. So we will now sit in a close room and discuss. So that place that is doing Omen and Abuzi, I just see it as a sensitization center. Sensitization center, I mean, is where you bring people to talk to them about this awakening. But a venue. But now, when you now begin to put in activities of and all other things, it will now start contradicting the same thing we are. And in fact, in my culture, when we begin to practice culture, there will never be any skin where a woman and a man is brought together to in anything in terms of worship. In Africa, we practice gender segregation. Men go with men, women go with women. A place where you come and bring men, bring women one side, and you are teaching them the same thing. There is no human being on earth who advises a CEO and his worker the same place. Like you have workers here. Someone want to give you advice. You will not keep your worker here and the advice is not done. So in our our culture, we practice wood for the things of wood, gold for the things of gold, and iron for the things of iron. So what we do is that gender separate, because the place where Matthias Cesar now starts, the people now start seeing Matthias Cesar as the boss, as their lord. What we will now do is that the same thing that is done in church, where women take the loyalty that belongs to the husband and give to the Reverend Father. They will now start seeing him as the the loyalty of a worker cannot be shared between two men. Once a woman sees another man more authoritative than his husband, understand, the woman can never submit under the husband. So that place is where women go, and then they are listening to the voice of another man as a leader. It's very wrong. The only leader a woman should have is her husband. So women will teach women in African Renaissance in their separate place, and then men will plan men, because when it actually transcends beyond what we are not cracking joke. What we are doing is reviving of the lost pathways that once was. When we want to plan something discreet, a woman is not allowed to be there, because a woman is a less logical human being, and the man is expected to be logical and take the leadership. So when we need to make when we need to make that decision, the first thing we do is we bring people under control. We bring women under control, and to bring women under control, we separate women from men. Just understand Omenanabozi as a place where we sensitize people. That's just what it is, not a place we practice our culture.
My wife, one of the best hospitals we have in Anambra. I will not do advert for them because they took money from me when she gave the birth. Yes. But this place now, normal hospitals, when I come there, Anucha isi ogo, show you that you are in the hospital. But this place, you can never even perceive one smell of drug. Right. Okay? Yeah. I was present where they operated my wife. After they operating my wife, they have to take my wife to another room called recovery room, where they placed machine on her organs. Nobody was there praying. Upon that hospital is owned by core Christians. Among Modipa Life Congress of God. They understand these things. But look at a general hospital in Onitsha where I lost my mother. My mother was dying. There was no place to put her on life support. And some of my relatives were there praying. And then look at what they do there. Then, why na doctor need the ogo. The ogo, so imagine the time we say you don't go from the hospital. You get because I know that, because that time I was still a struggling young man. That time my mother would be on life support. So that point that you made is actually very, very cogent.
And it's taking our life. Who taught us miracle, taught us result without process? Who taught us grace, taught us result without process? This thing didn't exist in our culture before.
I saying that Christianity introduced Okite and then...
Thank you so much. Christianity introduced Okite. And I'm going to explain it very well. Most of the time when I listen to people and they say Igwogu is a very bad thing, I look at them and their life and says, how I captured it is that Ogu is like electricity. Ofo is the insulator. Follow me carefully. Ogu is an electricity. Ofo is the insulator. Before the white man came, we have too many people in our villages who knows how to do all these things. But the insulator, but the insulator shields them from using that thing against their fellow human being. So you see this young man, Ekehit will stay on the media and says, you see something like that. He is speaking it because he have electricity, but the insulator has been destroyed by Christianity. Because in the days when men were men, you know how to do medicine and you come out to boast that you know how to use the medicine to do prostitution, you will suffer grave consequences. Elders will put you into panel because the insulator was there. So they take away the insulator, but the electricity is now there. So the electricity now begin to harm the people. So you now begin to hear about Okite. Okite now some young guy now who have a phone, who have Jerick song, and who have Igbo. I've told people that once you see a young man who have met Jerick, his mentor, once now for ego. If you Jerick, once in our hand, 1 pa, 2 pa, if you get $100,000 billion, I broke till I get $1 billion dream. I've made go far. How many business 5 million street is not laughing, street is miracle, it's military. Because what happened is that when the insulator was taken away and we are now left with only the naked wire electricity, so the charm began to destroy. Let me even tell you, when real African Renaissance happened, we cannot do without Ogo, because the primary purpose of a man is defense. We need to fight to defend our land. The defense of the society is not live in the hands of the police or the army. Men have to prepare. And so when you want to prepare a people that will go and fight, they were not people that will go and fight, and if they shoot them one bullet, they will die. There's a reasonable way you will prepare those people. But they will not die, but at least it will come to a point that they will not die like a fowl. Today in Japan, if Japan want to go to war, if you finish preparing the military men, you put them in the mouth of their spirit. America knows there is trouble. These people have entered in a place where even bullet is afraid of them. And so when the black man came, he saw that spirituality that shells the tortoise like a shell. And so he convinced the tortoise that the shell is a weight against himself. So when somebody says Naigwa will be your joy, I look at him as a madman. He's just saying, I'm not saying that I have Ogo, but what I'm saying that the person just see that he's just seeing electricity, that the insulator has been taken away. When we bring back the insulator, if somebody go and sleep with a woman in Enugu, go and sleep outside today, possibly most times the person have mental issues. Well, how was that thing instituted? Somebody says Ogu doesn't exist, but he believes in Alosi, that Alo is Alokose. Are you not mad? How did Alosi become activated? How did somebody steal your property and the person was forced to bring it back? How was it activated? Spirituality is magical intellectualism. Christianity is a terrorist organization. What is terrorism?
Okay.
Terrorists, okay. Terrorism is the use of fear to achieve what you cannot achieve through negotiation. So all teachings about hellfire, about a human being burning perpetually in hellfire, all teachings about a last days, all teaching about end time is just terrorizing people to believe what they don't know. My dear sister have a little baby who is called Define, just a little girl of 2 years. The girl came back from school 2 days ago, and the girl was, do you know what the girl was reciting? Okomo, Okomo, Okomo. Do you know what was happening? The teacher have just finished terrorizing the children with hellfire stories. And so the teacher pictured a place of people burning everlasting. And the reason why they do it is that they want to terrorize the people mentally so the people can be glued. There is somebody that will be listening to me now who is seeing sense in the things I'm talking, but he cannot come out. Do you know why? He is under mental terrorism. He is under mental terrorism. He remembers, he thinks, what if it is red at hellfire? I was talking with a professor in Unizik. Do you know what the professor told me? The professor was speaking to me about Christianity, and I asked him a question. I says, you have a daughter. The name of your daughter is Princess. I says, if God killed Princess is a psychology student, 200 level. If God should kill Princess and replenish Princess with you with 4 more daughters, will you be happy? Will you be more? The guy says, no. God cannot do that. God cannot kill my daughter and replace my daughter with more daughters. I said, it's alright.
Ọ bụrụ na ị chọrọ igwe anaghị ajụ gị arụ oyi, nwanne jebe na Pine Leaf Estate and Properties Limited.
There was a man called Job. Job have sons and daughters. God texted and gambled with Job, not only with his resources. He says he entered into his children and killed all. The question becomes, when God finished killing these children, he says he replenished 7 times. So he replenished 7 times means he gave Job, if there are 5 children, 7 times 5 children, that's 35 children. Are they the same age or newborn babies for Job to start training again to come back to the age of the ones that were killed? So you are not comfortable with God killing Princess and giving you 7 more Princess, but you are comfortable with God killing the children of Job and giving Job 7 more little children for Job. Have you trained a child up to 18 years and then God will come to kill the child 18 years? Let's say there are 7 children. And God now came and give you about 7 times 7. That's 49. 7 times 7, 49. God now give you 49. Even if your wife delivered 49 once. When I was asking the professor, do you know what the professor says? He says the EAD. I said this thing you are saying have crossed beyond Rubicon. But what I will advise you is to stop saying it in the class. because I am beginning to have influence on my classmates. And it is directly sabotaging the scriptural union they do every Friday. It's no longer seeing the population it usually see. So he says, I have seen that you are irrevocable, that you cannot be retrieved again. But what he wants to say that I should stop saying it to my students. Understand? So terrorism is Christianity is terrorizing the people by presenting to them pictorial view of punishment, pictorial view of fear. That if you don't do, like you are talking to a Christian today, the first thing the Christian says is, it is talking against Jesus Christ. Go and ask about what happened in Brazil. A natural disaster occurred in Brazil, and somebody have mentored somebody in Ogboka in a Bariam who didn't even have a normal good road on a normal afternoon without natural disaster. Normal afternoon, no disaster. Only even a disastered man in Brazil is still better than you. Somebody have told an African man that a natural disaster that happened in Brazil is because they made mockery of Jesus. So what they are doing is just looking for things to mentally unfortunate events to mentally terrorize you. Like if I finish talking with you now and I enter the vehicle and start going to Enugu, which I know it will not happen, and I died on the road. Oh, Malikoli, when you post this video, people will say he never fails. I will become, yes, I'm telling you, if accidents killed Matthias Ezak any day, Matthias Ezak will become somebody that Christians will start saying he wants to talk against Jesus Christ. You now forgot that there are thousands of Christians who are actually coming back and they died of road accidents, even this week. So they will never see, if it happens to a Christian, they says God know the best. If it happens to a non-Christian, like I was telling my mother, anytime a native doctor die in my village, my mother will start to come to tell me, if you go near Guago, of course now na hada one, then the presbyter of our church, Methodist Church, I just know about one morning war like that. Presbyter is the last level to bishop in Methodist. No man when they Jesus, say, mommy, Jesus of my Jesus will lapo in Jesus ajụjụ ọ mazụrụ ihe niile m sị okay o mazụrụ ka dibia ji wee nwụọ mana ọ mazụrụ to pastor ji wee pugode ba ka m na-akọ. It is because they are looking for unfortunate events to mentally terrorize you. Christianity build people who walk against nature. Christianity build people who walk against nature. So you can see in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 14, the Bible says a natural man cannot understand the things of the spirit. So it is already a man who walk all their life against the pathways of nature. And when we transcend into that pathways of nature, you now discover why there is a lot of prostitution today in Africa. It's because of Christianity. Anytime you see prostitutes, just see Christianity. Sex is a basic need of life. We don't preach to girls not to have sex. We don't preach to young boys not to have sex. Sex is like a water that is coming close to your house, which must be shown a drainage. It's an erosion. And so for you, you must find it a drainage for it to pour out so that your head can be cleared. So the pathways of marriage our ancestors established. When a young lady is coming up at age 16, 17, when a young boy is coming out at age 20 something, they say to the young lady, see your husband, go in and sleep with him. They say to the young man, before you even come at age 22, 23, see your wife. So we don't preach against sexual immorality. We make foundation that makes every woman to stay under a man. You now carry a young girl of 22, 23 years, put her in Unizik without a husband. And every day there is a Catholic or Anglican church that is telling the girl, abstain from sexual immorality. God doesn't hate, God hates fornicators. You are forcing the young lady to fight against natural hormones. And so if you have 10,000 today and go to any university, girls will come to your room. Because the pathways our ancestors solved through nature, a Christian have come to destroy the nature and then tell you that you don't need that a natural man, water, yana, corner spirit. So I tell people that morality is not preached. That was how I began this teaching. I says morality is not preached. The foundation of morality is built. That was how I began this teaching. So you don't tell a girl not to fornicate. Sex is a basic hunger of life. You create the drainage for it to flow away. Now, Christianity, line that this one is underage marriage, 16, 17 is underage marriage. And they began to teach monogamy, the greatest evil in the whole world. There are three greatest evil in the whole world. Three. Number one, democracy. Number two, Christianity. Number three, monogamy. This is the three greatest evil in the whole world.
Inwele akọpụlụ iche ịchọ ka ụwa nọ. Inwe ife dị n'obi ịchọ ikwugbam. Inwele ife dị omimi ịchọ ka onye ọbụla malụ. Onwele akala aka izole ezo ịchọ ka ụwa fụ na inwe passion for. Bịa na gbam ka ụwa n'onu yi. Inwele business ịchọ ikwunye n'ọkụ. Onwe product ịchọ ka o soro na gbam. Ịchọ ka ife ị na-ele, ife ị na-eme na-aga as viral as gbam. We are here for you. Contact the number on your screen. Ka ikwunye n'ọkụ ka ife na ọ na-eme. Adamu aka. Gbam is the biggest Igbo interview in the world. Come and find out for yourself.